I'm Ron Bedard, traveler, motorcycle explorer, and former helicopter pilot. For over 3 years, I traveled across the Americas by motorbike, through 22 countries, 2 continents, and over 130,000 kilometers, with one simple goal: to ride from the Arctic Ocean to the Antarctic Ocean and back again, to tackle the daunting challenge of circumnavigating the Americas. So, goodbye, Ural. My focus was to experience real life, the uniqueness of each region, to connect with its people.
Gracias.
The food, the history, the culture, and wherever the road took me. There is not one tourist up here. It is cool. From wide open plains, winding desolate roads, and treacherous high-altitude mountain passes, in situations that would push me to my limits. Accident of some kind.
La puerta.
A journey of discovery that would take me to the ends of the road.
Holy shit, look at the size of this fucking ant. What? Look at him. Look how big he is.
Everybody has that little bit of adventurous spirit in them. Everybody. And for whatever reason, some people throw it aside.
We're out of here.
Promises to be an adventure of a lifetime. The 4 men plan to travel both the east and west coasts of Central America, not by land, but by sea, and not by ocean-going yacht, but by kayak.
I've always loved adventure and challenge, with a belief that anything is possible, which is as true now as it was when I was growing up. Sometimes I succeed, and sometimes not, but I always tried, with the determination to make it. My siblings and I were raised very poorly, and some may say very unfortunate. But I've always said that I wouldn't have had it any other way. It made me who I am today. Being a child of the 60s, and the oldest of 4 siblings, in a family where the father was physically abusive and left when I was young, and a mother who had substance abuse and dependency issues, we were shuffled from foster home to foster home, as well as government institutions for children. This was the way I was raised until I was old enough to be on my own. A very challenging upbringing. I learned from a very young age to be independent, resourceful, goal-driven, and to treat everyone with respect. Early in my adult life, I became an ocean kayak guide and was responsible for leading people from various backgrounds, from doctors, lawyers, or people who just wanted to have a new experience, on multi-day kayak trips along Canada's west coast watching whales, or along the Caribbean reefs in Belize. But always looking for a challenge, I decided to follow my lifelong dream of becoming a pilot and became a civilian commercial helicopter pilot. For over 17 years, I flew commercially in many different aspects of aviation, including geology support, forestry, oil and gas support, air ambulance, corporate. I was lucky enough to be able to fly in many regions throughout the world, including the Canadian Arctic, West Africa, Asia, and Central America. Already an avid photographer, I decided to combine my passion for flying and photography to become a certified aircraft accident investigator with a specialty in forensic photography. I began creating precise accident site recreations using aerial photography and ground-based laser scanning to aid in accident scene investigations. In time, this work caught the eye of the film industry, where accurately recreating people, objects, and places for visual effects and computer-based remodeling was extremely important. And this led to the creation of my visual effects company, led by myself and my wife, Anna.
So what was Ron's motivation, or what do I think his motivation was for doing this trip? Well, number one, it's been something that he's wanted to do for, I wouldn't say forever, but I would say pretty darn close to forever for Ron. And it's definitely well before we met. He's been talking about it, again, really since the first time we started chatting about travel. But why now? Well, that's a pretty easy one. We're both we're getting into our 50s at that point. And Ron had also had an epidural hematoma about a year and a half prior to that, or a year. It was going to be about a year and a half prior to that. And when you go through one of the a life moment where you get to realize that tomorrow is never guaranteed. That's the moment where you go, if I'm going to do this, there's no time like today.
I have been riding motorcycles since my late teens, having had many adventures, one taking me as far south as Guatemala. This ride, however, will test my abilities in ways I have yet to grasp, specifically off-road riding, which I have no experience. My previous riding history has always been limited to street riding, so when I decided to take on the challenge of circumnavigating the Americas, I knew I had to choose the tools which would give me the best chance of success in the unknown conditions which I was about to encounter. I chose the Ural because of its stable three-wheel design, which would be perfect for my lack of off-road riding experience. And from all the promotional videos I've seen, it's advertised as a simpler, older technology, which is perfect for any repairs required in any small South American village. It's built like a tank, crossing rivers, pounding over rocky terrain. It's not a fast bike, but I didn't need it to be fast. I just needed to get there in one piece. Copied from a German World War II design in the early 1940s and currently still in production in Russia, as well as some modern upgrades like fuel injection and disc brakes, I was confident the Ural was the right bike for this journey. Just a few modifications are needed to get ready for the trip.
First thing, looking at the bike, we put in a additional steering dampener, just because of the long days, having to fight the bike all the time is a pain in the ass. Additionally, I changed the oil filter. I changed the muffler to a bush muffler. I changed the mirrors from the standard Ural to a different one that's a little bit more convex.
Okay, maybe more than just a few, including standardizing things to be more North American friendly, provide a solar panel charging system connected to the bike to provide power to all the cameras and any electronics necessary.
Change the handle grips, GoPro mount there, put in an additional luggage rack, put in another GoPro mount there with its own power, change the air filter, change the reverse and forward mechanism. From there we actually ran bike power to the sidecar, tapping into that. I put in waterproof speakers, put on 2 jerry cans, 1 and 2, built this additional brace, and this additional brace is due to the fact that with all the testing that I've done with GoPros and cameras and what works and what doesn't, the hard mounted ones are the best, and so mounting this directly hard to the sidecar, which has its own suspension, just gives that much more additional stability, and tested it on logging roads and it works great. Also added in additional controls for power cutoff, so I can turn all the GoPros on or all the GoPros off, the inverter on or off, and the stereo for the sidecar on and off. And of course, with everything, I need coffee in the morning, so we mounted in this marine grade coffee cup holder.
After 3 weeks, my team and I are finished.
That's it. So that's Don Quixote and Sancho.
But before I head out with confidence, road tests are needed to make sure everything is solid. And as the Ural is a three-wheeler, a dramatically different feel than a standard bike, I have to master an extremely important skill. It's called flying the sidecar. It may look like a trick, but believe me, it's not.
That gets good sweat going.
When it comes to high-speed maneuvers or emergency situation avoidance, controlling the bike with the sidecar up in the air can make all the difference between successfully avoiding a situation or becoming the focus of the situation. Without this skill mastered, this journey could come to a crashing end before it even had a chance to get started. This journey will start in Tuktoyaktuk, affectionately known as Tuk, a small hamlet in the Northwest Territories, and the most northerly point in Canada you can drive to, which is nestled on the shores of the Arctic Ocean. A milestone road, and the first publicly accessible road to reach the polar shores in North America. But getting there is not so simple. The new all-season road from Inuvik to Tuk is not yet ready or open to the general public, so having the bike shipped to Tuktoyaktuk is not an option. I do, however, get special access to the road by bike, so the challenge then becomes getting myself and the bike to the town of Inuvik, the southern end of the new all-season road. But as I soon discover, this has created quite a stir with some of the locals.
Are you trying to head up the Tuk?
Yeah.
Where are you going? Yeah.
Yeah. I've been talking to, you know Merv?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Merv and I have been chatting for months, and I'm going to be staying at his aunt's place up there. So
I'm not going to tell you you can, because technically you can't.
I know.
But
I know.
Some of the Tuk residents are a little bit cantankerous about it,
Are they?
because they just know that they can't access the road.
Right.
Which is their livelihood, right?
Right.
So they have seen motorbike tourists come into town, and they're a little bit miffed about it.
Right.
Hopefully it's a good road. I look forward to driving it myself. So
Yep. All right. Well,
good
it's
time
time
for you to enjoy.
to go play in the mud.
Yeah. Drive safe. And
All right, man.
You're pretty much free for speed limit from now on.
Okay. Thanks, man. Thanks, eh? All right. Here we are, heading to the most northern accessible spot by road in Canada, up on the Arctic Ocean. The all-season road, up to Tuktoyaktuk. And here we go. Onto the road. Unofficially official. Beautiful. Hey, man. Merv and Max are coming up behind me.
Do you think you're gonna get through on this?
Yep.
I don't think so.
Yeah, well.
You haven't been up there, have you?
Well, they just told me that the 25 to 30 kilometer section is...
Brutal there.
Yeah,
There's holes in there that I can't really get through in the four-wheel drive.
right. They're coming up behind me. So I said, you know, if I get stuck, you guys just pull me out. So they were like, okay. I will. I've been in, dude, I have been in mud up to here in two-wheel drive. Okay, so I guess he's going to be driving up ahead of me. I guess just so when I do get stuck, it's kind of a plan in action. There you go, big mud puddle. Gentlemen. Yep, no worries. That was easier, man. That was easy. Okay, it's all part of the adventure. Thanks, man. And let's rock and roll. Here we go. There it is. Oh yeah. Almost didn't make that one. There comes another one. Yeah. Come on, baby. Yeah. That's the fucking soup. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Well, I'm pretty much covered in mud, but we got through it. So it's quite amazing having basically sections of this road completely to yourself. It's just absolutely gorgeous out. The road's all mine. Nice.
And this is the way the road stays all the way to Tuk, all to myself and above the tree line. Tuktoyaktuk is set on the Arctic Ocean, approximately 335 kilometers above the Arctic Circle. It's an Inuit peoples community of just 898 according to the 2016 census. Prior to 9/11, Tuktoyaktuk's airport would service up to 30 flights a day. However, in recent times, things have changed, and this has become of a great concern for the community.
4901, we're clear vertically by the Bingos. Newark is next.
The new all-season road should, however, make a difference. I am lucky to have a chat with Erwin Elias, the mayor of Tuk, and the radio operator specialist at the Tuktoyaktuk Airport.
Lots of positives. You know, it opens up not only the south to the Arctic Ocean and tourism, but it gives us a bit of freedom to get out too. Because if you try to fly commercially, it's very expensive. We have a unique story to tell. The Arctic Ocean is a destination for a lot of people, but we're a people that's been here for over 1,000 years in this particular location. You can almost talk to anybody in the community. They'll welcome you and come and have a cup of tea. You know, sit down with us and we'll tell you a story.
What would you say to anybody? Come to Tuk, or what would you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Come to the Arctic Ocean. Come and share. We'll share our culture with you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the community of Tuk. Invite all your friends to come with you.
After meeting Mayor Elias, I decided to take a look around for myself, meet the locals, and see Tuktoyaktuk. And thankfully, retired Hamlet foreman and elder Peter Nogasak was generous enough to take me around town and teach me more about this wonderful community.
Oh, that's cool. Some hides hanging?
Yeah.
So what pelts are up there right now?
Looks like a polar bear.
Huh. Do you get many bears out this way?
Last couple of years, we had 3.
Really?
Yeah. Come
Okay.
right into town,
Really?
walk down the street.
Really?
As the increase in tourism with the opening of the all-season road, there could be a drawback.
Tuk is a dry town, right?
It's not completely dry town. There's provisions for having so much beer per person
In your house.
and for alcohol,
Right.
with a limited amount.
Right. With the opening of the road, and let's say tourism starts to become, more prevalent.
Yeah.
And like I said, the infrastructure that tourists would like to have, a couple places to stay, a couple places to eat. That also potentially brings in, and the next thing, here's a bar, right?
Yeah. Road maintenance is going to increase more because of traffic coming in and out.
Yeah.
Things like that.
So, but it's good. It seems like, a lot of the guys that I saw, like driving the trucks and everything else like that, were local guys.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah. We have a lot of local service workers. I have worked with the municipality for 30 years.
Right.
And when I retired, we have the guys that work with me been there too for years.
Right.
They know the system and try to keep it up.
Yeah. Well, my fingers are crossed that this is a good thing for you guys.
Yeah.
After a few wonderful days in Tuktoyaktuk, it's now time for me to hit the road.
Tuk was absolutely great. The people were fantastic, very welcoming, a great community. I hope the all-season road doesn't turn them all jaded from tourism. Goodbye, Tuk. Heading down to Argentina. Heading off on a big trip like this, obviously there's, moments of anxiety, moments of exhilaration. There's the fear of the unknown. And in the end, it's kind of like anything, starting a new job, beginning a family, whatever it might be. Taking it 1 mile at a time, 1 day at a time. And, just really looking forward to meeting some great people. steering away from the bad ones, seeing some amazing scenery, eating some fantastic food. I'm looking forward to the fantastic eye-opening experience, just seeing how everybody lives. So just keep going.
And right on cue, the adventure begins.
Oh, fuck off. All right, so did I get very far? No, I didn't. I looked down, lots of clanging. Looks like a couple of the mount bolts for the universal joint have sheared. The universal joint is probably still good. Let's see here. There we go. So that's twisting. That's pretty fucking hot. So there's obviously some sort of... let's go back here and have a look, see what we got. Yeah, good times. Didn't even get out of the fucking starting gate. Means I'm gonna have to limp back to Tuck and see what I can find. All right, yeah, that's what we do. That's just crazy. Okay, limping back to Tuck. Nice and slow. And there we have it. We might be spending another day.
Heading back to Tuck, definitely frustrated by having a mechanical issue so early on, but thankful that I was close to town. I'm hopeful I can find someone in town who can help me get this fixed and get me back on the way. Sure enough, Merv Gruben and his crew, the contractor in charge of the northern section of the all-season road, got me all fixed up, and within a few hours, I was back on the road.